All right, guys, here we are. We're doing it live again. We're doing it live.
Live.
I can't say the other part because.
Fuck it.
I'll say
There you go.
We can only say that once, and we're still PG.
Yeah, so we're still good,
We are.
and we might be able to get one more, like some titties in here, and we'd be all right.
All right.
Well, the gang's all here. I am Weekend Game Guy, Chris. Here I am, and of course we've also got Mike. Mike will be the Game Genie, and we've got Stu, Mr. Dude, 206
Good evening.
in the house.
Word.
Word to your mother.
Exactly. Both of them.
both of your mothers. Yeah, hey, look, that happens all the time these days. So,
Anyways, enough of our episode of Modern Family. Let's get back to the podcast.
sorry, I derailed there for a moment. It's what I do with. I'm all blurry, so my autofocus isn't.
Tap the camera like Lawn Boy does.
Yeah, like. Does that fix it?
No.
Not really. All right. We've got a whole bunch of interesting things to discuss tonight. Well, not a whole bunch, just a couple of things, really. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in to the Facebook fan page.
The whole show is garbage. Way to sell it, Chris.
That's what I do.
Oh, jeez.
Let's start with the beginning. We all use YouTube here. I use YouTube, obviously. The dude uses YouTube, obviously. And Mike owns YouTube, obviously.
Parts
And
of
at least
the dark parts of it.
the dark part of YouTube.
Yes.
And so now it has come up, and it is a very some people find it to be a hot topic, apparently, because I actually had some people talking to me, some friends of mine that were kind of upset about this. My wife got real fired up about it, too, which was a really interesting conversation. YouTube paid subscriptions. Mike, I'm going to let you start and kind of take the floor on this because you have a pretty interesting take on it, and you got an interesting vantage point, being that if everyone subscribed to you and paid to do so, they would spend like $1 million.
Yeah. No, the paid subscription thing isn't. It's not. They're moving in that direction for us to have paid subscriptions. But what this is, in fact, actually is a different premium version of YouTube that will forego any ads. So instead of using ad blocker, you just pay, I think it's like $9 a month, and you can have a premium version of YouTube that will boycott all the ads. So Google gets their money that they're losing because of ad blocker currently.
Boo-hoo on Google.
Well, my argument and my question is, why would I spend, be it $9? That's probably Canadian money, $7 US.
Burn. Burn.
Or whatever.
$8.99 US.
Whatever it is. Why would I do that when I could download ad blocker for free? Anyway, and still do it. I mean, I guess you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think this is going to evolve over time. I think that right now it's just the ads are gone, but I think that you will get content earlier, might be an option. So I think that also there will be some premium content that will be free, kind of like a PlayStation Plus model, where there will be discounts if you're a premium subscriber to YouTube. So like Angry Video Game Nerd movie came out, you could purchase it on YouTube. Maybe if you're already a premium member, you get that free, or you get that for a reduced price. I think there's going to be some other benefits included. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Ad blocker is free.
Right, and a lot of people are theorizing that this is kind of YouTube's attempt to kind of get in the market with kind of what Netflix has done. And try to get a foothold in that. And I don't know how much of a market share or whatever they could catch or get a hold of in this, but I mean, everyone's moving that direction. I mean, Amazon's got a service, Hulu. I mean, there's 1,001 streaming sites, but it's kind of it's interesting because like YouTube is YouTube and everybody watches YouTube, so like things like Daily Motion and all that stuff can't really compete. I think Netflix is kind of the same thing in the other. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. But the interesting thing, and me and Stu talked about this a little bit, is the difference between YouTube and a lot of other these streaming sites that do have premium content is they actually pay to get that content on there, like Netflix does. YouTube is based solely off people uploading. Like, they don't have movies really on there unless people upload them illegally, usually. So there's not really a paid model for them to go get content. We provide it. How willing are people going to be to upload content if they have to pay to do so?
That depends on. I don't know. Sticky subject there.
Yeah, and you mentioned to me, Steve.
It's your hobby, you know what I mean? If it's your hobby, you want to pay to do it, or if it's your job, you're going to have to pay to do it anyway. So,
Well,
that's all fucked up.
Well, no, we're no longer PG. But
Sorry.
Stu, you mentioned something.
Apologize.
You mentioned something to me, which was, for me, I make money from my ads and all that stuff. So, really, it wouldn't be a big thing for me to pay a little bit because I'll make so much more in ads. But the reality is, with this new paid premium YouTube, it's an ad blocker. There is no ad revenue.
Uh-huh.
Because YouTube's not going to share that premium dollar with all the people that are relying on the ad content to make their money.
But what if they made like a side contract for YouTube content creators to happily, bypass that fee, and they're just probably trying to get the little person to pay to make their content? Because obviously, the larger YouTubers going to bring traffic for this company, and they're going to just say they're charging while not doing it.
Well, what's a little person? Like, I have 11,000 subscribers. Realistically, I'm a very small fish.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's only going to be the guys like the Mark Pliers, whoever the hell that is, and the PewDiePie.
It's PewDiePie.
PewDiePie. It's only going to be guys like that are already, making $45 million a year that are going to get the, free wink and say, "Don't worry, fellas, you're in." But the little guys that are, struggling to get by doing their thing.
Is this policy actually going to stick, though? Because I know Google Plus and Google and YouTube have tried so many things, but yet they didn't really stick. So.
Well, a lot of people have brought up really interesting points online, and one of the reasons they say that YouTube is moving, or GoogleTube is moving towards this, is because people used ad blocker in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Google didn't get the revenue because everybody was blocking it, so now they're trying to find a way to monetize it where it actually financially makes sense. Because I don't know the actual financial figures, but I kind of get the impression that the community believes that YouTube and Google isn't a good fit so far, and Google's actually losing money.
I see. I don't know. Lately these days it's about money, 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 money. Patreon and money, and Kickstarters and money.
And Amiibos.
And Amiibos that want money. Patreons for Amiibos. Yeah.
I think that the thing you said just a couple seconds ago, Mike, about how with if you're paying to subscribe, you're not going to get the ad revenue in the end because the ads aren't being shown. That's kind of what my wife was saying. Was like, well, they're just taking money out of the pockets of people that are. Look, I'm not saying that doing YouTube is about making money.
No.
But you of all people, Mike, have got to admit, it's nice to get that little bit of gas money at the beginning of the month or whenever you get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. We are not going to be the next Rockefellers by any stretch of the imagination.
Uh-huh.
I think the last time I got any money from YouTube was $1. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Like that's what my cut is from my ad revenue.
Yeah.
And what does that cover? Nothing. I can go get
You can get half a Slurpee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah. Slurpee.
No, actually, you live in the States. The dollar menu at McDonald's actually works up there.
It does. Yeah. Yeah.
Except for the dollar menu. McDonald's gives me I blow mud every time. I can't do McDonald's anymore.
Okay, let's back it up. Let's go back. We've got a whole section later for your dietary issues.
Yeah. Anyway, McDonald's no good. But anyway, and she brought up a good point, and that is a good point. Is that without the ads, there is no ad revenue. So I think Stu's got to be right in some form or fashion. They've got to cut you in on that subscription
Well, I have no idea. I mean, we had a conversation last time we were on here. Maybe we didn't. I talked to a lot of people about it. YouTubers flipped at Nintendo's policy of them trying to share some of the revenue. People absolutely lost their minds. But yet, YouTube introduces this new paid premium service where the ads are gone. They take all the money for the subscription, and we don't hear anything. Why are people not talking about this? But boo, Nintendo, how dare you, terrible company that gives us Zelda.
I hate Zelda. Zelda sucks.
I'm going to punch you right in your glasses.
Do it. No, I don't know. But okay, so you brought up Nintendo, and I didn't put it on our list of stuff to discuss, but I did. We talked about talking about that, about how, Nintendo has kind of revamped their ad and partnership program. They've come up with a partnership program of their own, and we thought we would talk about. I've been wondering what you guys thought about. Do you guys think other developers are going to move in the same direction?
No, I really don't.
No.
I really don't believe that other developers will. Just because I don't think other developers will feel that they have the pull that Nintendo does with their content. Like, honestly, I can see Capcom doing it, but then again, Capcom will then also make you pay for DLC on the content you upload. So, there's that.
Yeah, that's true. I was just thinking about that the other day, because if every developer eventually gets on board with doing the same thing, that same kind of deal, I mean, feasibly and honestly, I mean, let's be honest here. How much of a shelf life do we have doing any kind of gaming video at that point? If everybody jumps on board with that kind of idea.
Does Twitch have any type of membership or any type of payment or anything like that? Ad revenue, all that stuff, or?
I don't know enough about Twitch to really comment.
They do. They have They do have ad revenue. You can get ad revenue. And there are paid subscription in there, and I honestly, most Twitch streamers that I know anything about. Oh, I'm out of focus again. Oh,
come back to the light.
Most Twitch streamers that I know of actually rely a lot on donations, and like live donations. It's not like they have a Patreon or whatever.
What's the difference?
With what?
All Patreon is donations. I don't know where people get this idea that it's some kind of subscription service.
I think part of that is the I think some of that misconception comes from the idea of the tiered system where you get access to this and access to that. I think misunderstanding comes from that.
That seems to be a lot of work, though. Every time I see a Patreon or everybody that does it, it's like, $1 I get a shout out. $2 you get a shout out and a T-shirt. $5 you have to have like a webcam on while I'm taking a dump.
We've already crossed the threshold, Stu.
Sorry,
we're not going to go into NC-17.
You could have told me beforehand, or maybe you did, but I forgot. But yeah, it's just so much work for those donations or whatever. Is it really worth it? Well, maybe it's worth it if you get over $100 or $250 every month or whatever. But it's just crazy that. I don't know. It's not worth it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Well, for the Patreon, if I were to start one, would it really be worth it for me to want to make all that extra content besides the normal content to cater for those other people that want to pay? But it seems like a lot of work these days. Before YouTube, you just upload some crappy webcam and then just have fun interacting with other people. Now they're getting to the paid subscriptions where you have to pay YouTube to upload something that's your hobby, and it just seems it's out of whack. It's just really out of whack these days.
Yeah.
And everybody is just trying to feed the green machine at the same time. But I don't know. Within the next few years, it's going to be really, really interesting how things are, and I really think that people are going to rely on Facebook unless Facebook and Google are they already together right now?
Not yet, but
unless they combine and make some kind of crazy ass Voltron of destruction of the internet, and we're here to screw you. It's crazy. Yeah. So I don't know. Paid subscriptions, if it's minor, it's gonna be 50 cents, but like $2 for like a month, I guess that's reasonable. But if it's like $7 per upload, who knows? I don't know.
And one of the interesting conversations that kind of sparked from this paid subscription model was people, like big YouTubers that make money, started asking questions on Twitter to say, are there any other good streaming sites out there? So, Chris, like you mentioned, Dailymotion is one. I tried Dailymotion when you did. I didn't feel that there was any traction or circulation to the site.
No, not at all. Unfortunately.
And they mentioned a couple other, and it's the same thing. YouTube really is the only place where you can upload creative content like this that people actually go to. Twitch, if you do live streaming, you can absolutely do it there.
Yeah, but like we were talking about, Twitch, one of the most common ways people make money on Twitch is direct donation. And like direct to my PayPal, you click a button and you send me money right in my pocket, and that's it. That's it. The other way a lot of people make money on Twitch is through paid sponsorships. I know a lot of guys that do sponsorships with glasses and gaming glasses and things like that. And you know what else? A lot of people on YouTube do the exact same thing. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, YouTube has banned the idea of paid sponsorships. So why don't we discuss that? Was that better? Was that much better?
That was an awesome segue. Awesome. Nailed it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that one all night, actually. I was rehearsing it, actually, in the shower.
Nice.
I really wanted to talk about this because this is a very good companion topic to the topic we just had. So YouTube is releasing a premium service right now that's completely ad-free. But how can it be ad-free if there's in-video programming, in-video product placement? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think the reason why they're banning this paid sponsorship now is to complement that no-ad program. They're basically saying you can't do ads anymore. If you guys aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, I think it's more along the lines of you guys have probably seen Stone Age Gamer ads on GameStra81 and also CJR uses he's got a sponsorship with Stone Age Gamer. So at the beginning of their video, they do an ad for it every time. To my understanding, YouTube is now telling content creators this will no longer be acceptable in videos. Some people are going the other way and assuming that it means that they can no longer take money to review a certain game or accept money to do videos on certain topics. I don't think it's that. So I think that, if you wanted to do a griddle commercial, Stu, and you got money to do so, you'd be cool to do it. But
people give me a lot of crap for that one.
I don't know why. I mean, it's not like you showed them 3 single DSs or anything.
I guess it was too clean and that people really thought it was an actual ad. They're like, what the hell? It's an ad!
Stu sold out.
Yeah, for the Griddler. Check my video in the description below.
I thought you were real. I thought you were street.
I am, man.
I think an interesting topic was brought up about that is that if one of YouTube's guys that are paying to have an ad in the video, if it's a competitor company, you don't want a Dell commercial in front of me singing the praises of Mac. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want that either.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of that would be a conflict of interest, I guess, in a way. So maybe that's another reason. But I think by and large, and I think the heart of the matter is definitely the paid subscriptions, because it totally screws up if I'm paying to subscribe to Michael B. the Game Genie so I don't have to watch ads. Well, if Mike just doesn't his own ad, it doesn't. I'm wasting my money because I'm not getting what I'm paying for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, with the paid subscriptions or sponsorships, what if they sign some kind of contract where they have to keep on doing that? So now they automatically break their contract because YouTube has some other secondary policy now. Would that be an issue too?
Oh, wait. Oh, this is legal matters. Mike, go get your wife.
She's actually home.
Honey.
Yeah, but you guys see what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if so and so sign the contract, say, hey, you have to represent my company for this year, for this amount, and we'll pay you, we'll front you this cash. And then YouTube has this policy in place, like, bam, you broke my contract. Sorry, buddy.
You'd have to take a look in the contract to see if there was any kind of sunset clause to allow for something happening like that. Otherwise, the content creator, even though it's out of his control, is on the hook. They would have to repay the money, and they would be in breach of contract.
Thank you, YouTube. Sorry, guys.
See, I know it's legals.
It's a business law, man. That's your thing, right? Business stuff.
Yeah, contracts.
I know nothing. I know nothing.
That's what I do all day. Sit down and sign my name on contracts.
Yes. Yes.
I don't do that. I dig metal out of my hands with razor blades. That's kind of what I do all day.
Because you're Wolverine.
That's because I'm Wolverine.
You're mostly adamantium.
Yeah.
And a magician.
I'm a magician.
Oh, that'd be tough if you're giving male massages like that with the metal coming out of your hands.
Yeah.
Oh. Cheese
Some
grater
guys
penis.
dig that though. Some guys dig that though. So I mean, just saying. They ever watch this? There was a show on HBO, like a mini series called Hookers at the Point. You guys familiar with it? No.
Yes.
We watch
Yes.
very different TV shows.
Okay, well, let me fill you in. On Hookers at the Point, it had basically these prostitutes. This is real, like real prostitutes, not like. Well, I
The
guess
fake ones?
as far as I know, they were real prostitutes. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, they would have coffee at like Waffle House or something, and they would be swapping these crazy stories. And one of them, this one lady was telling me that, well, not me, on the show, she was saying that she had this one guy that kept coming back to her, and he would show up with a vial, like a medicine bottle, and he would open it up, and it would be full of needles, like strips of metal needles, like I don't know. And what he wanted her to do was stuff them down the tip of his penis.
Oh, nice.
And then pull them out one at a time, and that's how he got his.
And this was a comedy?
No, it was true stories.
Oh,
but
that's
I haven't
crazy.
gone to see her in a long time, and I mean,
Hey, you know what? Whenever someone tells me, or like you see a comment on Facebook or on YouTube saying, "Oh, you're wasting so much money buying all those games," you know what? There's a lot stupider things you can do with money,
Like smoking crack.
or
and getting needles put in your penis hole.
Yes, that too.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Anyway, so that was that story. I don't have another transition, Mike. I wasted the good one.
Well, are we done with that topic, you think?
I think so. I think we're good with banning
Well,
sponsorship.
that was an okay length, but now let's talk about game lengths. What do you think about those?
Not bad, Stu. So, The Order came out this past week, Order 1886, and immediately...
I get the year
Yeah.
wrong every time.
Anyways, before it even came out, it was bashed. Like, every single gaming site jumped on it and said, if you like cutscenes between only 5 hours of gameplay, then The Order might be the game for you. And everybody started saying, I'm not going to buy this, it's only 5 hours. I'm not going to buy this, it's only 5 hours. So, is that really too short for a game of that nature? I mean, realistically, it's not 5 hours. It's like 12 or, 9 to 12, including all the cutscenes and all that stuff. So, is that really too short, or is that a good length? What do you think?
I think it's an okay length for the price. You know what I mean? There's a lot of open-ended games that are just as expensive, but it depends on what kind of player you are. You're the casual gamer that just wants to play and finish a game with a great story, great graphics, and all that, or do you want to play like an open-end game like Dragon Age or Far Cry where you have to go do everything and get your money's worth? Sometimes you just want to play a game like you're watching a movie, enjoy it, put it down, get rid of it. But me personally, I'd wait, because obviously it's going to go down in price, so why get it right away? And the quality, it's just like Metal Gear. What was that Metal Gear? The 5, the one that just came out.
Ground Zeroes.
That one was a mistake because it was initially a demo, and then they said they're going to release the rest of it later. So that was a mess-up situation, but The Order is totally different from that.
Yeah, Konami really Capcom that one.
Yeah, they did.
I'm looking up how long. According to okay, all right. Let's break this down real quick. The order, based on what I'm reading here on howlongtobeat.com, if you guys are familiar with the website.
I go to a different website, and it's not gaming related.
similar URL though, huh?
Yeah.
The order is about 7 hours long, and that whatever. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which if you're into that, whatever, is the main story is 6.5 hours long.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, no one buys a Call of Duty game to play the storyline.
And I think that's my point. And I think it's where my mind is going, is because let's be honest here. Most people that play first-person shooters, I know people that have copies of like Modern Warfare or whatever that have never ever played the campaign.
Yeah.
They've never even looked at it because they don't play those games for that reason. So, in my opinion, most people could just shut up because it doesn't. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But
do you remember when Titanfall came out last year?
Yeah.
Titanfall didn't even have a single-player campaign. They just nope, this is a purely multiplayer game.
Yeah.
People like that game now. It just got overshadowed by all the other stuff that came out.
Yeah.
And now that Destiny's under the carpet, it's on to the next one. That's what I don't like, is that as soon as something bright and shiny comes out, everyone moves on, and then they just totally forget the game they were hyped up about over 4 or 5 years, like it never existed. That's the problem with the stuff these days. They're just pushing out too many, and they're not enjoying the ones that are actually there.
Well, and what sucks about that is that, like, if you invest the money to get Titanfall or Destiny or whatever, next year maybe, a year or two from now, they're going to end up shutting those servers down, and then that game's worthless. It's worth dick. You can't play it ever again.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point even owning it, especially since there's no single player campaign.
Titanfall was one of the games you might have missed last year. You know what else was a game you might have missed? Shovel Knight.
Yeah. I heard not many people played that last year.
No one played it. Hidden Gem.
It's a whale.
Yeah, it's a hidden gem. I didn't even know anything about that. I didn't even know there was such a thing as Shovel Knight.
Anyways, all kidding aside, going back to the order, I've actually read some pretty good reviews on it. We have a guy here locally who has a podcast himself called Blast Processing, John Mercer, and he writes for our local paper. He gave it a glowing review. He said, if you like some of the best graphics we've had this generation, plus a really cool, in-depth story with a lot of ambience, lycanthropes, Order might be a fun game. It's got like a Resident Evil 4. That's actually really good. Resident Evil 4, Gears of War combat type style. So, you know what? I'm thinking about getting it, and I'm not thinking about waiting. I'm thinking about just getting it.
Yeah.
I like short games.
Form your own opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of my mentality about all that stuff. Like.
Yeah. That's why people don't pay attention to IGN as much anymore, because they know they're shitty. But go try it for yourself. But it's usually expensive to do that too.
Yeah.
But regardless, games will get cheaper. But I guess if you really want to support it and it's going to be a good game, then why not?
Right. And even if it's not going to be a good game, if you want, or because you never know, you might actually end up hating whatever you get. But it's still, your own opinion matters more than someone else's. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some games I love that people hate. A lot of people bash. We've talked about this several times. Friday the 13th on the NES. People bash it all the time, and we all seem to enjoy that game.
I don't know about Stu.
Well.
What? Red Faction?
Friday the 13th.
It was okay. It's just that whole LJN type Nintendo. I wouldn't have played it seriously if you guys didn't tell me to or ask me to.
Well, this is just for us here on the podcast and the people who watch it. I'm actually doing a review of it, and LJN Defender's already done a really good review, explained how to beat it. But I'm actually going to do a review, and it's for Friday the 13th, obviously, and I'm going to focus on what makes it unique and how a lot of people say it doesn't have anything to do with the movies, and really tie it into elements of the movie, where it fits, all that stuff, and talk about it's one of the games that really took a ton of stuff from the movies and actually used it in the game. They did an It's one of the most interesting games on the system. That's what I want to say. Maybe I'm a big Friday the 13th fan and I'm seeing through rose-colored glasses. I don't know.
But but the thing about it is that's your own opinion of
Yeah.
the game that people hate, and that's the thing. I think that's the point that we're getting at here is that people hate stuff, and it doesn't matter.
So what's the longest game that you played, Mike, recently?
I played Super C yesterday for about 8 minutes.
Nice. Was it just really hard?
Yeah, it's tremendously hard. I don't have time to play long games anymore. I think I told you guys before that I started playing the last Evil Within on PlayStation 4, and
Yeah.
I really liked it, but I was playing for about 10 hours saying, man, I got to be getting close to the end now. So I went to GameFAQs and I checked to see where I was in the storyline, and I found out I wasn't even at a halfway point, and I was like, you know what, the hell with this game. This is just too sometimes games drag on, and you know what? It's fine to say that this game has 15 hours of gameplay, but it's got to be good 15 hours of gameplay. It can't be slow and dragged out, and that's how I felt Evil Within is. I liked Evil Within, but man, what an absolute slog to get through it.
Do you think you'll ever get back to it though?
Honestly,
Yeah.
no, I'm at the point now where I have so much to play that if I get turned off on a game, I really got to force myself to get back into it. Like, I've never beat Metroid Prime, the original one on GameCube. I've gone back and played through Metroid Prime 3 times now, and I get to the same point, and I just get annoyed with it and quit. And then I got to play it all over again.
Well, we got a quick question from Kit171. He says, speaking of the NES, do any of you like the game Samurai Zombie Nation? Is it weird and hard, but pretty cool and unique? So basically, do we like Zombie Nation? Mike,
Yeah.
You own it. Do you
I
like
do.
it?
I really like Zombie Nation. It's a little hard to... I wish I had the manual, or I wish I read the manual, because it's hard to tell what's happening. Like, it's very hard at times to tell when you're taking damage. It's hard to tell what you're actually supposed to do. So it's got a big learning curve, and it could be extremely hard, but it's a fun game. It's weird. It's unique. Graphically,
It's hard to see a lot of stuff in it. You
Yeah.
know? With all the bullet hells that I've played, it's the gritty 8-bit type stuff that's hard to see because they can't really have too many different colors. But it's a unique game for sure. I didn't know that it was that expensive until a couple of years back, or maybe it went up because of that.
Yeah.
You know? Who knows?
About 2 years ago, Gunnak and Zombie Nation were head to head in prices. They're about the exact same price. But Gunnak has kind of dropped down, while Zombie Nation has just shot right up.
Yeah. Well, Gunnak is still around like $100, which is crazy.
Yeah. And Zombie Nation was always one of those grails I was after, because I genuinely we used to rent it all the time from the
Rental store.
The rental store. Thank you, Stu. Here in town, the one that sold them for like $5, and I should have bought it way back then. But anyway, and the interesting thing was I got it because of the cover, the box art. I don't know if you've ever seen the box art. It's the craziest box art. It has nothing to do with. So it tricked me, but I played it, and I actually ended up really enjoying it. It's one of my favorites. It is hard. It is hard as balls, but it is quite fun. It is.
One thing that I wanted to do is like get all the NES shooters. You know, I've been on a small trend. Like I got Terra Cresta. I got what was the other one? I got Stinger.
I don't like Stinger.
It's okay. It's weird.
I like it. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Go have some multigrain Cheerios.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. How about you, Chris? What's the longest game you played besides Red Faction?
The longest thing recently besides it's probably, gosh, but it's been about a year. But Crystalis was probably the longest game I played because it was the last RPG I played through in a while. But I got some other ones that I'm looking at playing that's considerably longer apparently coming up after I finish stupid Commander King. Well, I keep picking games that are just like
awesome.
Yeah.
The next one you're playing is awesome.
Yeah, apparently, and that's what the word on the street is, and I'm going to trust a lot of opinions here. So you guys better not be steering me wrong.
No, if you don't like this game, then you have no taste.
That's basically the general consensus of what
Yeah.
people have said to me about it. So, yeah, I'm excited about doing it because one, you guys know I love the series,
Mhm.
and
I
so
still can't believe you haven't played it yet.
not more than a couple seconds.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, I figured out how to. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't
But
want to give too much away.
You spent 8 months playing Red Faction, and you haven't played this past couple seconds.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah, but the funny thing was you took a break and you're like, man, I'm doing all these videos. From what I can tell, you only did Red Faction.
That's
It's a great
actually what happened. Frankly. Well, see, the thing about it was the plan was always, I'm going to do this, and I'll get done with that, and I'll get done with that in like a week, right? It won't take me long to beat a first-person shooter. They're like 6 hours long.
Mhm.
I should have just got the order, and then I would have been able to do that. Yeah. But, yeah. So, well, hey, why don't we, since we were doing some stuff that people have been, questions, Stu, one for you. Dom asked on the Facebook page, what is your favorite part of collecting the arcade stuff?
Just because it's I feel that it's different, and not different just because it's like very different. It's just that it's more interesting once you collect all the consoles and all the games. You kind of like either hit a plateau for collecting or whatever, and you want to try to move on to something else. But me, if you've been on my channel or checked it out, is that I usually like to do tech things as well and dabble with this and that. So if I felt like if I got into the arcade collecting, I can learn more about soldering, I can learn more about the parts and how things work. And I often find myself, like, after I get a certain part and try to fix it myself, then I, got into the CRTs, and now I can fix a freaking TV if I needed to, and all that other stuff. Now I'm reading deeper into, like, capacitors and, like, traces and how all that works. So it's basically teaching myself other things. So I'd say one day, if I were to get into like Nintendo repros or Super Nintendo repros, I personally can do it because I can learn how to flash the EEPROMs and ROM chips and all that stuff. So that would be cool if I got into that. And then I can start making it rain all these repros and start, hacking and doing all this other stuff. So,
what would you say? Kind of piggybacking on that question. What would you besides storage? I know storage is going to be tough. What's the hardest part? What is the hardest part about collecting?
The hardest. Well, usually it's the price stuff is really expensive and the rarity of the good games. Like you can try to get a Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts PCB, and those can range up to like $400. Just like the Final Fights can go to $400. But it's just the rarity of the old games because they deteriorate. They just totally stop working. You know what I mean?
And you got to do that, like, what is it, the suicide mod or whatever, to keep them from dying and crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, and just keeping that old hardware alive is just that, it's like keeping any other hobby alive. That's why arcade collectors are so hardcore and so small. It's just like a small generation of people understand what the arcades were, so they still want to preserve that. And I guess I did it for that reason, is that I wanted to help preserve it as well, because, you can figure within 10, 15 years from now, you won't see an arcade cabinet, or you won't see any of that, because our generation grew up in laundromats, grocery stores, pizzerias, all that stuff. You remember yourself as a kid playing them. So, I guess it's their iPad of today. It's what our arcade cabs were of yesterday.
Yeah. There's a barber shop here in town, in this dinky town, that has a Street Fighter 2 cab and a Tekken Tag maybe cabinet. Coolest barbershop ever.
Yeah, it's slowly making a comeback too. They're slowly bringing them back up.
Yeah.
I've only come across one arcade machine for sale, and Chris, you'd appreciate this. It was NBA Hang Time.
Nice.
I like that one.
That's a good one.
It's just something that gravitates you towards it. You know what I mean? And it's really cool if you have the room. People also think that it's hard to learn, but really once you get into it, it's like any other hobby. You know the ins and outs of it. So, just something to learn.
Yeah. Well, let's do the other question that Matt Hanola. Hopefully I did it right again. Whatever. You wanted some beat 'em up recommendations. I am not a beat 'em up expert. I do have some recommendations, but I'll go to one of the other boys first. Mike, what you think?
Mm-hmm.
Good one.
he would have been better if he classified on what system he wanted to play it on. But if he's got everything, I mean, we can do that. If you want to play Final Fight, the best version of Final Fight that you'll play is Final Fight CD on the Sega CD. If you do not have a Sega CD, you can play a pretty good version on the Game Boy Advance, which is also the full version called Final Fight 1. So if you want to play Final Fight, I'd advise either of those. If you're looking for an interesting SNES beat 'em up that's kind of off the radar, Batman Returns is probably one of the most
It's a great one.
cool beat 'em ups. It's a great beat 'em up, but it's also does so well with the movie, and it creates this whole atmosphere that is just unreal. So that one's a little off the rails. One to stay away from is Doomsday Warrior, because I found out it's not a beat 'em up. It's a really terrible fighting game.
Yeah, I
So
got
you
that
just
one.
picked it up too.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyways,
I got it because it was horrible. That's one of those games I got back because it was horrible. But, you know.
I really like Super Double Dragon on the Super Nintendo, but I did get a lot of feedback that people said they don't like it because they find the fighting slow. But I say they're nuts, and Super Double Dragon is also pretty awesome. On the NES, Mighty Final Fight. I'll just leave it at that.
Dude?
I guess for me, I'll try some unique ones. I guess one I got recently was Magic Sword, made by Capcom for Super Nintendo, and that one plays a lot like I guess Magician Lord, can I say? And then
Is Magic Sword a beat 'em up though?
it kind of is because you fight enemies, and
No.
well, unless you're talking about like life bar beat 'em up, then I guess I'd want to recommend let's say Ninja Warriors. I know it's expensive now, but it's a really good one. Or maybe even Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo, which is a nice beat 'em up too.
Yeah, that's a lot like Ninja Warriors actually.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
those are fun.
Yeah.
But how about you, Chris?
If you don't mind using some emulation, The Simpsons. If you don't mind arcade emulation, I mean, unless you can go find a board, The Simpsons is awesome. It's a great four-player beat 'em up. Alien versus Predator. Another good arcade one that you can emulate. It would be really good. The ports. There's the Super Nintendo Alien versus Predator, but it's not the same game at all. On the NES, River City Ransom is really good. That's a good one. You don't like it, Mike?
No, it's not my jam. Whenever anybody like fanboys over it, I'm like, really?
Yeah, I love it.
Nice.
I do. I like it. Other ones, Captain America and the Avengers.
Hey, you guys ever play Vendetta at the arcade?
I don't think so.
No.
Well, Vendetta is I think it's a Konami arcade beat 'em up where basically it takes place obviously in the 80s, and the weapons you get are spike bats or like steel bars, and all you do is just kick people's ass, and you're renegades, you're street renegades, you're ex-cops, and you're just trying to beat the street gangs, and you totally just whoop ass. I just miss the beat 'em ups from that era because in some of the animations you get up on top of them and you just punch them in the face like 8 or 10 times and then they die. It's awesome. So
That was
Vendetta would be a good one if you haven't played Vendetta.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Either you guys ever played the Death and Return of Superman?
I have.
Yes, I have.
I love that game. I just recently got that one as well, so that's another great beat 'em up.
Yeah, it's a
throw
good
out
one.
there.
I was trying to think of a couple more. More arcade games. Sorry, all the Dungeons and Dragons beat 'em ups. They're really.
Yeah, those are really awesome.
They're really. You could just look up Dungeons and Dragons and arcade, and you'll be like, there's a list of about a bajillion of them, so you won't be bored at all.
Do anybody notice that the beat 'em ups are actually really jumping up in price right now? You look at games like Captain Commando, Knights of the Round, King of Dragons, Final Fight 3, Streets of Rage 3. They're all ludicrously priced.
Well, it's like people are trying to collect all the genres. You know what I mean? So they're running out of I wonder when everyone's going to collect the puzzle games. I don't know. Maybe the puzzle games will be. Yeah, probably not.
I got a $400 copy of John Madden Football here for you.
I'm down.
I'll hook you up. Last one I want to recommend. One more. And it's readily available to just about. Well, I got two more. One is Castle Crashers. That's a modern one that's really good. I think that's really fun, especially because you can play it online with 4 players, and it's pretty fun. And I don't know if you guys have ever played Actually, I got two more. The Punisher,
Mhm.
where you can play as the Punisher and or Nick Fury before Nick Fury became Samuel L. Jackson. So it'll be a white guy.
Which system is that on?
That's an arcade one. That's
Oh,
another
okay.
arcade one. But it's really good. It's really good. It's really good.
And
And,
MAME's available for anyone that wants to play the arcade beat 'em ups and all that stuff, emulation and wise.
last one is Splatterhouse, of course. And if you can't
Nice.
play the arcade one, I'm going to recommend the TurboGrafx one. If you can't play the original TurboGrafx one, any of the Genesis 2 or 3 is great. The cinematics in the third one used to terrify me as a kid. I mean, I was scared playing that game. I had to like turn on the lights in the house whenever I played it. But it's such a good game.
Pro
Well,
tip. Pro tip, if you want to play Splatterhouse, the cheapest way to do it, other than stealing it, would be to get the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 copy, and you can actually unlock the first 3 Splatterhouse games in that game. And the first Splatterhouse isn't the TurboGrafx 16 one, it's the actual arcade port.
Oh, nice.
That's good because it's a superior port. But the TurboGrafx port is pretty good. You know.
That PS3 one is like under $10, so that's definitely affordable. You know what I mean? And it's even worth it for those part. You know, how much is like the Splatterhouse 3 for the Genesis? Like $70 to $80.
It's ridiculous. I'm going to make so much bank when I finally get to selling my Genesis games. I got so many good games. Like, I got Bloodlines, both of the Splatterhouse, and all these are in clamshell cases with the manual and stuff.
What are you doing, man? Why didn't you tell me? I just bought stuff from you. You're like, you want the Genesis stuff? And I was like, yeah, well, what do you have? And you're like, oh, it's in boxes. Just name something.
I'm sorry. Sunset Riders. That's another good beat 'em up.
It's not really a beat 'em up.
That's like a shooter / arcade type.
Yeah,
Well,
it's more like a Contra-esque, like Gunstar Heroes type game.
Yeah, I got some other stuff. I can't wait to sell my Genesis stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait to actually find out what you have.
Okay, so this is not related to anything we've been talking about, but it's entirely related because Mike's brought this up. That's another frustrating thing about getting rid of all this stuff is that it's in boxes, but it's in boxes that are on top of other boxes that are on top of other boxes, and to get to it, I've got to dig through boxes. It really is like a job, and you just kind of don't want to do it. You don't want to go in there and dig out all those boxes and go through it. I just kind of...
Yeah, but shipping is $60, man.
I know.
Come to New York.
I should just drive it all up. I should just drive it all up in a big U-Haul, and
you can be like a traveling gypsy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll send you my tears so that you can.
You can weep while you sell these games.
Yeah. It's it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
You had Splatterhouse 2 and 3.
Both of them, yeah. Complete box.
Not has.
I have them. I still have them.
Of course, the only game that like I've been looking for mercilessly, Gyries, is the only one I actually asked about.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I really want to get that one, but that's hard to find.
Yeah, somebody gave me that one as a gift. It was cool. Yeah. So.
Those are some beat 'em ups for you.
Yeah.
Plenty. There's so many good ones, though. There's so many good ones. Especially, I mean, if you're not afraid of emulation, if it's not a problem for you, there's so many arcade ones that never made it home, and that's unfortunate. Like Alien vs. Predator, that's one that should have been home.
That's like one of the many. And even speaking back to price, if you got $500 to $600, it can be yours.
Yeah.
Minus the arcade cabinet that it takes to run it.
Yeah. Simpsons did make it home. There is a home port. There are 2 home ports of it.
Oh, really?
Suck. You didn't know that, did you, Mike?
No.
One is on DOS for the computer.
That's not a home port.
And the other is there's one for the Commodore 64. So I guess
also not a home port.
But it's weird though. The weird thing about the Commodore 64 version is you got to think whenever this game was released. What year was that? Like 94, 93, something like that. And it still came out for the Commodore 64. That was like a 20-year-old.
The arcade game came out in the second year of The Simpsons, so it was like, ooh.
Ooh.
Simpsons. I think it was. I think it was like 91, 92 when it came out in arcade.
And a game was developed for the Commodore 64 in 1991. It blew my mind to find out that that's the date on that. In playing, I played The Simpsons recently with my wife. For whatever reason, I don't want to go into it, but secrets. But we played it. I was really noting how different they're. Well, it's like you said. This is like second year of The Simpsons, so they're drawn that. His hair, Bart's hair looks kind of funky, and
yeah, back when they were on the I forget the name of the show now, some Tracy Ullman show. Yeah.
That's like 30 years old.
Yeah.
I know.
So are we. So are
I love
we.
this. I love the Simpsons. I love the Simpsons. I wish I had like an encyclopedia magazine with all the history of the Simpsons on it.
Yeah. Did you guys ever watch the Simpsons movie? Did you watch it?
I did, yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Did you guys know the Academy Awards just happened for movies, and some animated movies got nods. We had a question about movies. Apparently, Nintendo came up with their own film awards for whatever reason. I still don't understand that. And Thomas, my buddy Thomas, wanted to know what our film awards would be like. So, Mike.
What?
So, have you seen these awards? Have you seen these awards?
I stopped watching like pretty much every award show there a couple of years ago when what was it? I went out to see Capote with Philip Seymour Hoffman in theaters, and because my friend was like really into it and said we got to see all the Oscar movies, and I went home saying, you know what, watching this stupid Oscars for like 4 hours isn't worth the horrible torture I put myself through to go see these awful movies in theaters.
Yeah.
I just stopped watching award shows.
What these were, I don't know if they did an award show, Nintendo did their own thing, or they just made these.
Nintendo has never successfully been able to do awards. Even the Nintendo Power Awards and their magazines sucked. Like, why would they think they could do movie awards?
Yeah,
maybe make some games for your Wii U that's failing. I don't know. There's other things you could be doing, Nintendo.
Low blow, Mike. Low blow. Why are they coming out with awards? What Nintendo movie was released? Am I missing something?
No, it was just a joke. It was like the Princess Peach Award for Best Female Costume in a Movie goes to Maleficent. The Samus Aran Award for Strongest Female Character goes to Olivia Evans for Boyhood. The Smash Award for Best Fight Scene of the Year goes to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes for whatever reason. You know, like stuff like that. Maybe it would be the best set of Titties goes to Scarlett Johansson just for being herself. That's just my award. That's my award.
So we got a question from OK Chief. He wants to know our top 3 comedy movies. Go, Mike. You can go ahead and start.
Oh, that's tough. I really like Scrooged. I know it's a Christmas movie, but that's up there for me. I like National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember now. This has really caught me off guard. It's tough. You like so many movies. I'll tell you the truth.
Footloose.
Footloose. I'll do it. Hot Tub Time Machine. I love Hot Tub Time Machine.
White Buffalo. The White Buffalo. Was that White Buffalo in there? Was that the White Buffalo? No. Wait.
No, I don't think so.
Different movie. Sorry. White Buffalo. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh man, me next. Crap. Crap.
It's heard.
It is. It is. That I hear that so many times at work. Groundhog Day. It's kind of funny we both chose a Bill Murray movie.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day for sure. He's pretty fun. That's a pretty great one. I'm trying to think of movies that just make me just laugh. I don't know. Groundhog Day, Anchorman, the original Anchorman. I really like that one a lot.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know.
Footloose.
Yeah, maybe
Makes
Footloose.
me laugh every.
I don't know. I don't know. Ladies Man? I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know what my third one would be. You ever see Ladies Man?
Yeah.
I saw Ladies Man.
Mayonnaise.
I've had my wing mouthanized while I was cutting the grass.
I love Tiffany Amber Thiessen in that. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I do too.
She's preggo now.
Yeah, it's sex, baby.
That's what happened on the was it Jimmy Kimmel Live or whatever who it
Yep,
is.
I
All right,
watched that.
Stu, you're 3.
Yeah.
I would have to say I love Wayne's World. It's a classic for me.
Awesome
And
choice.
I also love Dumb and Dumber, the first one. So many lines I could quote from that. Samsonite, we were way off, and IOUs and all that shit. And also, I would like to say Half Baked recently, just because I was, smoking a lot of weed back in the day, and I could relate to that movie. And Squirrel Master, and Buttercup, and for those that watch that movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh man, you know what? There's a couple other movies that I'd really like to give honorable mention to. Like I love Loaded Weapon 1. Loaded Weapon 1 is not Loaded Weapon. Naked Gun. With Leslie Nielsen.
I like Hot Shots Part 2 as well. That was good.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one too.
I love Step Brothers. Like I know it's a weird comedy, but like there's so many lines for that. Like every time me and Lara do something, like we'll move around the living room, and I'm like, there's so much room for activities now.
I like that whenever he's like, why are you sweating? Because I was watching Cops.
Prestige worldwide, boats and hoes.
My wife doesn't let me watch movies like that anymore. Not allowed. Short leash, guys. Short leash. Yep. Pretty much the truth of it all. Did you guys ever watch the second Anchorman movie?
I did.
Was it any good? I showed it. It showed up on Netflix the other day. I didn't know if
It was okay. I bought it because I love Will Ferrell and I thought it was going to be amazing. And halfway through, I was like, you know what? There's some really funny parts, but mostly I'm kind of bored. Kind of like when I watched Semi Pro. It was kind of the same feeling.
Yeah, I like Talladega Nights. That was a good one.
Oh, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, that hits a little close to home, fellas. Careful.
Sorry. Hey, what about when Stifler got shot in the wait, no, when he got what was that? Will Ferrell got shot in the neck with a dart. What movie was that? And he started talking all slow. Stifler was in it too. Fuck, forgot. Will Ferrell, the guy that was in Bulletproof Monk, and and he wanted to know if KFC was open. What is that stupid movie?
Yeah, it's Old School.
Thank you. Yes.
Old School is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Do you guys like that movie? I love that movie.
Oh yeah. First one or second one?
I like them both. The second one's. I laughed more at the second one. Honestly, I laughed more at it because of the. Well, I like the stupid humor. I like ridiculous, stupid, like no brain humor. I do.
Yeah.
I will laugh at stupid stuff like that.
Do you guys use quotes from movies in like real life situations and stuff like that all the time?
Yeah, pretty much nonstop. Yeah.
Ace Ventura has one of my favorite. Like whenever anybody asks me for something, they'll say, "Mike, do you have a spare pen?" No, I don't. That's none of your goddamn business. That's out of my personal life.
Or the stewardess with the lisp, peanuts. Yes, I have one right here. No, peanuts.
Would you guys consider Army of Darkness a comedy?
I would. I laugh at it every time. I laugh and I think that was. If I remember reading I've got the Blu-ray, and they talk about how that was kind of the direction they decided. They were like, screw it, let's just make it funny, kind of thing. So it's good.
Yeah, they made him such an iconic character in that movie. Like Ash. I'm so excited for the TV show now, Ash versus the Army of Darkness. That's going to be great.
Oh, that's new? I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, it's going to be, I don't know if it's on Showtime, but it's a new show coming out, and he's got his own Evil Dead show, and I think they got signed up for 2 years.
Wow.
I'll have to borrow that from the internet once it shows.
Yeah, and I surprised Chris the other day because he was like, man, I'd love, me and my wife were watching Twin Peaks, and I was like, that's coming out, and he's like, no.
Yeah, I almost crapped the brick.
Yeah.
I guess, God, because, I never had a sense of the closure I wanted.
No, not at all.
Like, I didn't have the closure at all that I wanted from it. And, so.
Another big regret I have with Twin Peaks is I've never seen the companion movie, Fire Walk With Me.
Twin Peaks. Jeez.
Hey, this is real life, man. Twin Peaks life.
I hear...
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I was I kept making like 50 Shades of Grey jokes the whole first episode for whatever reason. Anyway, yeah, funny to me.
Did you guys see the ad where the porn stars made fun of that?
The 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah.
No, I
Where
didn't
the porn stars said that they can make a better 50 Shades of Grey movie without being a tease and all that. It was blurred out. It was on my Facebook feed. I don't know if it's on your feeds as well.
check for that. I did see. Oh, go ahead.
You guys don't get the Canadian news here, but we recently had a huge scandal here in Canada with a CBC anchor by the name of Gian Gomeshi. And he basically was in one of these relationships where he would bring girls back to his place, and then he was into the sodomy and all that crazy stuff and beat them up. And anyways, he got villainized like in a complete psycho. Like everybody was like, this guy needs to be fired. What a piece of garbage. But yet these are the same women that are saying Gian Gomeshi should be taken off TV. But they're the first ones standing in line saying, oh my God, 50 Shades of Grey. So the message is it's okay to be this kind of sexual psycho as long as you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Money makes everything okay, Mike. Duh.
It does. You can buy silence.
You can't. You can't. You can hire a lawyer that can.
It's so romantic when he's rich.
Yeah. He loves me. All the way to the bank. Now, did you see that in Mexico, this lady was arrested for when she was watching the movie. She felt inspired to diddle herself, and she got arrested for indecent exposure.
That. She got the Pee Wee Herman charge.
Yeah, she sure did. Yeah, she sure did. She got it. She got slammed with that. No pun intended, but she did. She really. It's
she should have took a video of herself doing it. She could be rich now, like the Oregon State girl.
That's right. She did set. Yeah, that's what's up. That's
anyways,
what's going on with that.
We've gone way to the left.
Yeah, where are we? What are we doing right now? All right.
We're keeping things PG.
Yeah, digital.
So any new releases that we're looking forward to? Because it's kind of dry right now as for new releases of video games.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, please, dear God, don't let Chris go first.
Chris, go first.
No, I don't really have anything. I don't even really know what's coming up.
Oh my God, he's going to tell us about all the Steam sales.
Yeah. Actually, there's a really good sale on... No, I'm kidding.
Humble Bundle.
Yeah, the Humble Bundle is going to be... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's coming out. I don't even know.
You know, it's a funny thing. Like, Nintendo's got some cool stuff. Like Kirby and the Rainbow Curse just came out. It's not for everybody because it's kind of like a 2D thing, but apparently it's absolutely gorgeous.
That's just like a freaking Epic Yarn, though.
Yeah.
But they're just rehashed with a rainbow.
Yeah, and there's a Yoshi Epic Yarn type game coming out too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? I don't know. Wii U. I don't remember the last game I bought. Last one I bought was Donkey Kong? That was a long time ago. Wait, no. Smash. Haven't played that since.
About Wonderful 101 was the last game I bought for my Wii U.
Oh, how was that?
I haven't played it yet. It's still in cellophane.
You're gonna get the apparently there's a new Mario Party coming. You gonna get that? You like those games?
I'd rather have someone kick me in both the eyes.
Really? Not a Mario Party fan?
No, I've got no patience for that.
Yeah. You're just waiting for the next wave of amiibos to come out? That kind of your thing?
I do have an amiibo now.
Yeah, I saw that you got one without having to kill anybody or
Mega Man.
Or resort to magicianing.
Yeah, I just, out running around, you stop into Walmart and say, oh, look at their amiibos. And sure enough, Mega Man was there.
Big wall of amiibo. Yeah, I saw the picture. It was hilarious because right behind there was a rack completely packed with amiibos. Like, oh, they're so rare, they're hard to find.
Exactly.
Whole wall full of
there was like 15 Mega Man, a bunch of Sonic.
I saw recently on Craigslist, my local in my area, obviously, because this guy has all the amiibos and he's now selling them like in bulk because he probably just hoarded so many. But the ones that he's missing are the fitness trainer, the Marth, and I think it's Ike. No, Ike's not out yet. What's the villager?
Villager,
He
yeah.
does- Yeah, but he has all the other ones, so he's gonna try to get $3 on each profit. Nice.
But you know what? That's actually not that bad a markup. Like, I know
No.
people here that are like Diddy Kong Amiibo, $30, and I'm like, nah, just go to the store and pay regular price. So good luck with your loss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did think of a game I want to get. I don't know if you guys want to get it, or you guys are
Laser
really
Suit Larry?
No, Mad
Footloose?
Max, the Mad Max game.
Oh, nice. I saw the previews for that. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, well, but all you've got is some cinematics, so I haven't seen the gameplay or anything. But it's Mad Max. Screw it, I'm getting it.
They should make Footloose for the PS3.
I kind of do want to get the Order now. I'll tell you that. That's one I've got on my list. I'm thinking about it, and it's just there's not a lot out. Like there hasn't been anything out on this generation of consoles that has been really like a must-get game. Like I haven't seen one yet.
So time to hit the backlog then, right?
You would think.
I don't have anything to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just spin around, Mike. I'm sure you could find something you haven't played.
I got Dragon Age on my PS4, and I downloaded it to the PS4, installed it, and I can't force myself to play it.
You got the two Ninja games recently.
Oh, Ninja Kid kind of sucks.
Yeah, but Shinobi's pretty good because it's
Shinobi's
Shinobi.
good.
That's not a good version of Shinobi, though.
Sorry. I'll buy rarer games and then show them.
Well, I didn't say anything about it being rare. It was about if the
Yeah,
game's good. That's my big thing. It's got to be a good game.
True that.
I
Dollar menu.
Yeah.
I think the backlog is pretty much the way to go for now. But that's what kind of like my mentality has been. But so you see how it's been backfiring on me with Commander Keen and Red Faction. But like you said, the next one will be good, and one of the other ones, or at least a couple of the other ones I got lined up, will be better. I hope better games.
You know what? Honestly, there's nothing wrong with Red Faction or Commander Keen. Both seem like fine games. Chris, you know I've been watching.
Yeah.
But my surprise is I'm really surprised you're not getting more attraction to the videos. Like, I went in and watched your third part of Commander Keen today, and I'm just amazed. Like, is there not an interest out there? And this is not me trying to downplay what you're doing or anything like that. I hope you know that.
No. I think part of what it is I'm not picking. You know, if I put something up of the Order right now, you know, I would get way more hits. I'm putting up Commander Keen, which is like a 20-year-old DOS platformer. You know what I'm saying?
So, what do you kind of off topic? What do you guys think about riding the wave, as in tagging your YouTube videos to what's popular at the moment to gain views? What do you guys think about that?
I don't do that. I just tag my videos based on what my video is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really worry about that.
Yeah, I don't. I've got Go ahead.
No, it's just if I'm telling you right now, if I went to a video and it was tagged on something I wanted to see, and then I turned it on and it had nothing to do with it, I'd be pretty pissed, to be honest.
So you can't put smiley face upside down.
No, like if someone made some kind of video, they said unboxing 2DS, and it was two original
Sorry.
DS.
Sorry.
I might thumbs that video down.
Yeah. Well, you and 56 others, you know what I mean? So.
Well, I wouldn't thumbs it down, but it would definitely get a frowny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, but you know, I just don't get it, Chris, because it's good stuff. It's well done, highly edited.
Mm-hmm.
I wish more people go watch it. And if you don't go watch it, I'll come to your house and beat the shit out of you.
That's from Michael B., the Game Genie. Not
he
me.
will come and beat the shit out of you.
Yep.
And for address to Chris's house, in the links below.
Oh, yeah. You know, as far as address, it's interesting. Well, we can get back to it. As far as, I think the heart of it is, part of it is just, it's the games I'm picking. I'm picking older games that people aren't necessarily interested in, but I am, and I want to play them, so I'm going to do it anyway. You know, that's kind of my
Good call, man.
And traffic will come eventually. I mean, I looked today at some of my older videos, and I realized that, wow, some older videos have really picked up a lot of steam, and I didn't realize it had happened. Like, I didn't know that.
Well, what's your highest viewed?
I think
it's kind of weird. We
Uh,
talked about this earlier, right? Not on a podcast, I don't think. Like one I mentioned while you looked that up is that my car video is one of my highest videos. Maybe because it's just a different car that not a lot of people are used to. I don't know. In the car forums, my car, the MR2 first gen, is not really used for tuners because a lot of people like the faster, quicker cars. So it's a small pocket of people that like that car. So I guess that's why the views are up, because they want to see more information on it. And Mike, you're one of your older Nintendo. You said a gameplay was pretty high up there, right?
Well, well, it depends on what you mean. Like, I've got a Game & Watch. My Turtles 2 Game & Watch has like 7,000 views. But it only has 7,000 views because it was the video after my top 10 NES Hidden Gems, which has 150,000 views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I've got 150,000 views on that video. The Nintendo Complete Collection Chronicles before that has around 7,000 views. And then the Game & Watch for Turtles 2 right after that has about 7,000 views. And then everybody realized the rest of my videos were shit, so it trailed off from there.
Yeah, my most popular thing is the my Complete in Box Nintendo games. That's 5,000 some odd views. I mean, and it's literally me just like putting them on a table and pointing at them. like I went back and watched and I thought, you know, I could just post this and that's how people can know what I have, so they can buy them.
Oh, nice. Did you do a Genesis collection for Mike?
No, I don't have that kind of time. I don't care about Mike.
Yes.
I have a second video now over 100,000 views. My top 10 Sega Genesis games.
That one's a good one. I liked watching that. That was a good video, Mike. Thanks for making it. Yeah.
No, really, the top 10s are always really good, especially like gym games and things like that, like games you really like. I love watching those because sometimes they are actually games I've never even heard of, and then you go check them out. You know, they're pretty cool. They're informative. Those kind of videos are always informative to me. I like them.
My next video is sure to hit 1 million views. It's called Mike Matei's Top 10 Hidden Gems.
Featuring Metal Jesus Rocks.
Oh.
Zing!
And PewDiePie.
Zing! And Barack Obama.
He's busy playing golf. He won't be there.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Stu, is there any more questions in the chat? Nope. Yes. No. Anything else?
Okay, Chief asked another one. He wants to know how to not grow his mustache so long and why he is always labeled a horrible person.
What? Who in God's name would think Rich is a horrible person? Rich is like one of the nicest people on YouTube.
How about we just take a second to say what's up to? We have Kid171, Yakuza Games, we have SNES Smappers in the room, Dahmer's Cool Stuff, Ed, and OK Chief in here so far. So,
Gary James is in there.
And G Money. And speaking of which, the freaking Game Storm, I was watching their channel, and then their Super Smash video is like 100,000 views or something for the soundtrack that they had.
Wow,
that's great.
That's crazy.
You guys are over 1,000 subs. That's crazy.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Game Storm.
Yeah,
okay.
Big fan.
That's why
we have a question from Ed. He says, what's your favorite PC games? Mike, you want to start?
Mike loves PC games. Wait till you listen to this.
Ed told me he's going to convert me. So my favorite PC game of all time is pretty much the only one I ever really had, which was Doom.
Yeah, it's a good one, though.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I think it's probably going to be on most people's lists.
Well, I just like Doom, man. I like Doom for a stupid reason. I told you about it. I thought it was so cool that when you were in that first structure, you look out the window, you see the rendered mountains in the background, and it gave that perspective of depth. I just thought that was awesome.
Yeah. I thought the soundtrack in Doom was just so awesome back then, you know what I mean? And the bass line on that, and also if you throw in the God mode code and just how like demonic and how awesome shooting was, the Doom is an awesome game for the PC. I like playing alpine skiing. That was fun.
Yeah.
So when you just ski.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chips Challenge, Minesweeper. Also, I played Under a Killing Moon. That's a pretty old PC game. It's like a mystery novel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a point and click. Have you played that? Chris?
I haven't played that one. I've played. I like point. I was going to say Myst has got to be one of my favorites, and I love those point and click games.
Uh,
I don't.
I played a lot of King's Quest too. I played a lot of that. I used to thought, and yeah, King's Quest was really. I used to play that at the library. They didn't have a computer way back when.
Yeah.
That was the only time I actually did enjoy computer games, was when you were in school and you were like, reading class or computer. Chris, what are you doing, man?
Mm-hmm.
I got a thing on my arm, and it's the thing. I don't know.
He's flashing some
There's a
cleavage
spot
there.
There's a spot that itches, and I thought maybe. I'm sorry.
You're
I'm
dying.
really bringing the quality of this podcast down. Take my mic here.
I forgot what I was going to say. But you were in computer class, and like the only thing that would be saving it is if someone accidentally uploaded a game onto the computer, so you didn't have to do research and you could play that.
I missed the. I don't know. It's fucking old. Is it computer games back then? I never knew what was real or not because you used to have those floppy disks that you play them on and stuff like that. So, but what I used to do back then is I used to mess with that. I think it was the Apple II, or maybe a later revision, is a program called HyperCard. I used to do the stop motion animation on those too, and that was really fun. But back then I used to do the stop motion animation and then program like different ways. Say if you click something, then it takes you to another page, and then I would do little text story games that way too. It was really nerdy in elementary school, so
yeah,
that was fun. I used to make RPGs. I think I still have some on floppy disk, but depending if they still work or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah. If I had to pick something besides Doom, I think Doom obviously would be top of the list. If I had to pick one PC game besides Doom, I would probably choose one of the Myst titles, probably the original Myst. It really is got to be up there on the list. The other ones really get really pretty. They really stepped up their game visually speaking as the Myst games progress.
What's the object or objective in Myst?
You walk around in fog.
Yeah, pretty much. No, you got to find. There's these 2 pages that you got to find to trap the sons of the. You've got to free the guy that wrote these ages, which are like parallel dimensions or universes or worlds or whatever, and you got to find the right pages of the book to complete the book, to lock the book basically, and trap them and free him and all this stuff. And there's all these great puzzles and stuff like that, and it's really cool. I loved it because, being the dork that I was, I would take the disc and explore the files on the disc, and it turns out because that's what I did. Most of the animations and things like that were actually MOV QuickTime files, so you could download them and keep them. So I had there's one on there, one of the most popular ones I think a lot of people talk about or mention or whatever, is there's one where a rose, you slide a bar across and it turns a rose into a skull. Well, I just downloaded that and kept it on my desktop so I could watch it anytime I wanted to. Cause there was no point in me doing that, but I did it anyway because I'm a dork. And
no encryption or anything back then. Everything was free.
No. Yeah, everything was just kind of slapped together too, I think. So.
Yeah. Did you guys have Sega CD growing up?
No, I wanted one bad, but.
Yeah, I used to love that about my Sega CD, actually getting the games and then putting it into my CD player and finding out the tracks from the game were actually also playable on the CD.
Yeah,
like
that's
Sonic
cool.
CD was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of those old PC games that the same kind of thing. If you had it, you could throw it into something else and listen to the music, and that was pretty cool. That was cool. I like that. Yeah.
Speaking of PC games, it's kind of weird now that I think about it. Most of the thrift stores that I go to, I don't normally see a lot of PC games. I see a lot of PC books and stuff like that, but PC games I really don't see.
That's because most people were very intelligent and said, I'm not going to game on my PC.
Yeah. Mike,
Nice.
I'm going to mute you from now on, just now that you're speaking. No, which is kind of weird because I was going to ask if you ever ran across anything that PC related, honestly, in your mini thrifts. Because if you do and you happen to run into a box copy of Doom, please send it my way. It's incredibly valuable now. Because it was impossible to get a boxed copy. You had to order it from id Software. The only way to get the boxed copy of Doom was to order it from them. So there's not that many of them floating around. So
Oh wow, I had a buddy back in the day. He used to play basketball. He used to work for Microsoft, and he has a whole bunch of just old computer stuff. I mean, maybe I'll shoot him an email, see if he still has Doom, because that's where I first played it. He had Doom,
Yeah.
and he used to be a teacher or some shit for Microsoft. So, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, they had a box copy that came with a floppy disk and stuff. And later on, after they picked up some steam and got really popular, and it blew up, they eventually released a CD-ROM version, which was it's pretty common, but it wasn't the same thing.
Are you talking about a CD-ROM like floppy, or the 3.5-inch discs?
I think the one was 3.5. I don't know if they did it on 5 1/4s, but they did have 3.5-inch. It was in 3.5-inch discs.
Yeah.
Now you could get the shareware one, which was just like the first chapter or whatever, which is what everybody had, which was really more than enough to like satisfy your cravings until you got done with that, like me, and thought, oh, I need more. And then what I got was the Ultimate Doom package, which was just the CD with all of it on it. But that was well after it was insanely. By that point, it was released on Super Nintendo and everything else, which those versions are kind of lacking, but it's a console. What can you do with it? Not much.
Yeah. Ed had another question. He wanted to know if we wanted to start over our YouTube channels, what would we start it as? Or what would we...
That wasn't his question, Stu. His
Yeah,
question was if you were going to start a non-gaming YouTube channel, what would it be?
Didn't he ask both? He asked both in the chat.
I only saw one question.
I saw two.
I see nothing in the chat. Okay, sorry.
You need to turn up your leapfrog and put your batteries on turn.
Oh, you're right, Stu. I'm sorry for attacking you. That was wrong of me.
Mike is really mean in real life. Don't believe what you see on YouTube. He yells. He yells a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a heel.
He has trapped me in his red room of pain. Can't you see the walls behind me?
Yes. Holding ankles.
Yeah. What would you do, Stu?
I go with the other hobby. I'd probably tinker around with, the car. Maybe do some tutorials on how to change some brakes, some transmission fluid, all that other crazy crap. Or maybe hit up the pet vlogs and just do stupid videos of my dog. Maybe get famous that way.
Cool.
I haven't done one of those in a while. But I'd say most likely the car. Because I just like, maybe if you were to go out for a drive, people like seeing scenery, or maybe those car meets that I usually go to, and maybe interviewing those people, why they have their car, why they chose it, what they want to do to it, stuff like that.
Yeah. Mike, what about you?
I love my channel. I wouldn't change anything. I like doing what I'm doing. The only thing I would do differently would be I wouldn't have rushed to make like the first videos I made right away, because when I did them, I really didn't know how to do it. And Stu, I know you've watched it a couple times. Like my first video is just a straight shot from a camera. I had no idea how to do editing, and I kind of learned on the fly. And it's debatable whether or not I know what I'm doing now. But I think I would have took my time and really researched it more, what equipment I needed and software, all that stuff, and learned how to actually do this before I started. But at the same time, then I wouldn't have met you great guys, and I wouldn't have started doing the Top 3 Tuesday thing. So maybe that wasn't a good idea either.
Well, half of that was the fun, learning what you're doing and as you're going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of people out here that want to jump out the box that think they have to have super high production quality to have a good video. And, if you have a decent personality, I think you'll go a long way as well.
If I was going to do the non-gaming, so question is, if I was going to do non-gaming.
No, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay. His first question is what Stu said. If you were going to start your channel over again, what would you do differently?
Oh, what would I do differently?
I probably have one name.
Yeah, I would not use Weekend Game Guy 1. That would be one thing.
Weekend Game Guy 2?
Yeah, I would use Weekend Game Guy 2. He seems to be a little more popular. No, I don't. What would I do differently? This is gonna sting. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say this. I would have never done the Weekend Game Guy thing.
That was actually one of the questions on the Facebook fan page. Mike Levy, our good friend Dongle, dude, you haven't played this game, asked, when are we gonna see another Weekend Game Guy episode?
I have an answer for that too.
Yeah.
What is it?
If when I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'll do one.
2,000?
And I'll go 2,000. When I hit 2,000, I'll do one and I'll go big.
Mike, we have to make a lot of accounts now.
So get to work making your spam accounts or whatever you got to do. But with 2,000, I'll do a big one. I'll do a big one. I'll do it at 2,000. I was going to shoot for something bigger, but I decided 2,000 that's more attainable than anything. That I didn't want to make it like impossible and ridiculous. But at 2,000, I'll do it.
You're almost there. You're halfway home.
I'm halfway there,
Yeah.
so I'll do it at 2,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
To answer the question, I would not use the name. I probably wouldn't have gone with the Weekend Game Guy show just because it ended up being so much more work than anticipated, and that's pretty much it. I'd have probably done a little bit more research in terms of audio stuff. Actually, that's something that in my earlier videos was kind of tough to figure out, was audio stuff. I would have done a lot more research on that and been ready, prepared. So there you go. So yeah, there you go.
If you're going to do a non-gaming channel, Ed's other question, what would it be?
Non-gaming, I do a lot. I tinker a lot. I like electronic stuff, soldering, things like that. So I wouldn't mind doing stuff like that. But honestly, if I was to do something else, what I really love to do,
Grocery pickups.
close. Actually, I would do a cooking series. I would really
Cooking with Chris on the
kid you not.
weekends.
It's kind of funny because I actually had a video edited, ready to upload at one point of me cooking this really crazy like butterfly baked chicken, and I edited it down. I did like I used I have a suction cup camera mount that like can stick, and I could stick it to the microwave, which was above our stove, so I get some overhead shots of the pan and all this stuff. And so yeah, I had a full episode edited up, and
You still have it?
I don't think
Don't
I
lie
do.
to me. Don't lie.
I don't
If you
think I
got
do.
it, you got it. Oh, damn.
I think I deleted it by accident or on purpose at some point. But I'll look if I got it. I'll upload it just for the heck of it. Why not? Screw it.
That sounds good. Everybody likes some chicken wrapped in bacon butterfly with some grease.
Stu, what would you do?
Differently?
Non-gaming.
Did I say a car thing already?
Yeah, you already did that. Yeah, Mike.
But I guess differently, if you want me to say that.
Sure.
I would like to be a bit more organized, but in the way that I upload videos, it's not really organized. So you could really not know what's good or it's not really streamlined. I'm trying to do that now because I unlisted a lot of videos, and I'm trying to reconfigure them into different playlists for people. So I guess I'd like to do that over again. But at this point, I have over like 200 something videos, so it might take a while.
Yeah.
My bad.
And what's frustrating is that whenever Google decided it was okay for everybody to have custom thumbnails, you guys remember when that happened?
Yeah.
I've got so many videos that don't have custom thumbnails. They look like sore thumbs sticking out. And a lot of them are my old Weekend Game Guy videos. I'd love to go back and do that and fix that, but it takes so much. It's time that I don't want to spend when I could just be making videos instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then if you have a custom thumbnail on it, maybe it'll get more attention, and you get your 2,000 subs.
Yeah, I know. Well, see,
And it's not that much work.
It's more work than it's worth to me. I don't know. I feel lazy.
You're late, Chris.
I'm lazy.
So if I was going to do a non-gaming channel,
yeah,
I don't think
Wrestling.
I don't think anybody'd be surprised by this, but I've actually contemplated doing it with a side channel where I just do reactions to wrestling and give like opinions on things. But I don't want to be that fat internet guy that's IWC talking about wrestling. I'm already the fat part. I don't need to be the other part.
Festive. You can use the word festive.
But I'd like to do something that's kind of like a right after wrestling thing and give real opinions instead of just complaining about what the product is. So that's what everybody does. Everybody just jumps on it, and it's a mentality in the internet altogether. They just want to find something to complain about. I don't want to be that guy. I'd like to give like a real condensed review on it and what I liked. That's something I'd do. Or I'd talk about horror movies. One of those.
Who's your favorite old school wrestler of all time?
Old school or my favorite all-time wrestler?
All time.
Macho Man.
Oh, nice. That's a
Macho
good one.
Man Randy Savage was my childhood hero, but my favorite wrestler is Chris Jericho. So him and Macho Man Randy Savage are 1-1.
Interesting.
And with those two, who would win against each other in their prime?
In their prime,
Yeah.
Savage. Savage would have beat Jericho.
Oh yeah,
He would
Yeah,
have.
Savage all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Piper fan.
Yeah,
I love Roddy Piper.
I do too.
I was always a fan of Jake the Snake and Bam Bam Bigelow back then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some head tattoos. That seems like a reasonable thing.
Yeah, why not?
Really hope this wrestling career works off because I'm not going back to Wall Street with head tattoos.
Yeah.
Was that Bam Bam?
Yeah.
Well, he had the head tattoos. I don't know what he did before. He was probably a
Oh, I
parking
thought
lot
you said he was in Wall Street.
No, I just assume that you can't go back to a normal job after you get head tattoos.
Yeah. They're frowned upon in the corporate world. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that last question and we can call it a night? How about that? Because we
Sounds good.
All right. So what was the last question there, Stu? You can read it off.
The last question was with the whole impending disc rot apocalypse in the future, what motivates you guys to still collect CD-based games or music?
Mike, you can go first.
Well, not a whole lot motivates me to collect disc-based games. I don't collect a lot of them. I mean, most of the PlayStation games I've had since they were around. There's a couple that I intend to play pretty quickly. I didn't buy them for long-term goal or long-term investment. I bought them to play them, so I really don't give a shit.
Nice.
Honesty. I like it. I like the artwork, the books. I guess I could just collect the manuals though if I really wanted to, but you know, obviously I'm not going to be doing that for much longer. But I think the biggest reason to even bother hanging on to them would be to hang on to that artwork, like the actual original artwork versus a scanned copy. That's not the same thing, you know.
It's more convenient these days to collect the disc base because they're actually all complete versus going back to the cart based versus the cardboard and all the inserts to collect. I just find it easier to collect for disc based systems, even though will the disc like deteriorate or I can tell like if you put a PlayStation game in the PlayStation, those little ridges on the inside they can crack really easy. So I'm even gentle with those too. It's just really fragile. I don't know.
But I think it's actually the full backing that's supposedly after, 30, 40 years or something like that, it actually just gives out. And it doesn't.
Yeah, but you know what's absolutely tremendously hilarious about this? Because this is not the first rot problem that's come up or years that come up. So now people are talking about disc rot because PlayStation's getting to that 25-year mark, right?
Yeah.
Well, realistically, guys, the Nintendo games were supposed to stop working after 20. That never happened. They continued to work.
Yeah.
I think people are just doing this mass paranoia, fear thing. They're throwing it out there. You know what? As long as it works, it works. When it stops working, you know what? Let's talk about it then.
Yeah.
So sell now.
Yeah. So while it still works, so that you can get your money out of it.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying.
But it makes you think, though. I wonder if I'm not saying it is, but what if, guys? What if disc rot is just a big conspiracy to trick people into selling all their disc-based games at low prices?
It's like a commercial.
That's what I think it is, guys. It's a big conspiracy. It's Illuminati and Beyonce.
I really do. I really do. I think like someone reads something on the internet and then they're like, I gotta tell the world about this, and then everybody starts going crazy. There hasn't been one single case of a game rotting. Maybe we're not at that magic year mark yet, but you know what? I've got CDs that I had when I was 10 years old that I don't have an issue with. They still play. My Wayne's World musical soundtrack still works. No issues. So, I mean, I don't know where they get this from. That was, 91 that came out? So, what year are these going to rot? Is it a 50-year rot cycle? Is it a 100-year rot cycle? What are they getting on with here?
Yeah. My Batman soundtrack still works, and that's got you on, 2 years or something like that?
Yeah, I had that on cassette. That was 89.
Yeah. So cassettes still work. I mean, I've listened to that Rick Astley tape pretty frequently while I'm birthing in my bedroom, and it's pretty much what's up.
Just caressing the label.
No big deal.
It's all good. It's all good.
Noah can hurt you now.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe disk rot is a real thing, but like I said, I'm not worried about it because if my game stops working, my game stops working.
So
There's easy ways to replace it nowadays. I mean, most of these titles are available for very cheap download from the PlayStation Network, the PlayStation games. I mean, if you have a 3DO, a Sega CD, a TurboGrafx 16 CD, and your game rots out, it's not very hard to go get the ISO and burn off another CD.
hmm
So
burn ISO.
And it's funny as emulation.
well, I don't know how to do that, Stu. You're gonna have to. I don't take things, so you know.
Borrow.
Well, no.
But I'm with you, Mike. I really don't believe that it's going to happen anytime soon, and when it does, I'll be dead in the ground anyway. So F it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that honestly, given the mass or the scale or size of many of our collections of games, there may be many games that have been dead for years that you've just never got to because you just don't know,
Well, I just watched
my copy of 2 Extreme. I just haven't played 2 Extreme in a while. I wonder if that.
I watched a YouTube video recently of this person that decided to open some of his sealed games that he wanted to play, and he opened one of them sealed. He's had for like 10, 15 years or whatever. He opened it, and the disc wasn't even in there.
Whoa.
And then he opened another one, and the game wasn't even in that either. So open your sealed games, folks. Make sure they're in there. So, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
See,
right.
That's the funny thing about like people that buy sealed like Nintendo games or whatever. I could if I could get a hold of a box of Zombie Nation and somehow fake the if I was crafty, I could throw a Super Mario Duck Hunt in a box, a Zombie Nation box, seal it up, and I'd be like swimming in money. Like I got a box copy. I've got a sealed copy of Zombie Nation. If you'd like to buy one from me, I've got 2 of them actually. I got two sealed Panic restaurants.
That's a lot of trouble to make a little bit of money from a very shitty thing to do to somebody. I don't know.
Mike doesn't agree with you on that one, Chris.
But Mike, you're a nice guy. See, that's the problem. You've got to be like vile and like devoid of morality to do
No.
Dislike.
Upside down
face.
smiley face. Sad face. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Well, that's as good a place as any. We've done this for an hour and a half. We have pretty much burned up your hour and a half. Thank you for joining us. It was good. I really do actually really want to say thank you to people that jumped in on the chat and on the Facebook fan page. Obviously, go check that out. And because, I mean, that's where we get a lot of really good ideas. And actually, we've got one coming up. Matt Hanola, we have not forgotten. I'm going to have to remind you guys what he wants us to talk about. It's going to take some research and some thought, I think, but it's a good one. Anyway, we'll definitely do it. So yeah, go to the fan page, leave us ideas. By all means, it's been great to have. We've had a lot more interaction, and I think doing this live has been a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys want to keep doing it this way, but it seems to be working really well.
We can roll with it. I'm fine with that.
I like it because Chris doesn't have to do any editing afterwards.
Bullcrap!
Yes.
You like it because you don't have to send me anything afterwards. That's what it is.
It takes me 5 seconds to send you the file over Skype. For me, it's the easiest one.
Yeah, it takes Stu like 9 days though. So.
56K.
That's my best impersonation of a dial-up modem I can do in the moment.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Links will be in the description below.
Yeah.
You know what?
Same as the ringtone.
It's fine for us to say we like doing it live, but why don't we ask the people that actually watch this, get some feedback from them? Do you guys want to keep seeing us do this live?
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know on the fan page or in the comments when this goes in a way that we can actually read the comments. I don't know. It's weird because the comments don't show up while afterwards. No. The ones that go live never show up afterwards. I guess it just leaves with the chat. I don't know.
Yeah, they all disappear because I was looking at that last time. I wanted to see what happened during the chat. I wasn't following, and it was really disappointing not to actually see it. Right?
Yeah, I've got the group chat open and I can't see anything, so I don't know if it's just that I only get to see you guys or something. I don't know. You guys can be in charge of chat. You can handle that. I'll just make sure this thing keeps running and moving smooth.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Smooth, like
Smooth.
butter
Like
on
butter.
a biscuit. Yeah.
Well, I think that's good. I'm going to say goodnight. You guys can do whatever you got to do, and then we're going to close this out.
Good night, everybody. Enjoy your lives. Did Stu leave?
No, he's doing gestures.
Later, guys.
Thanks for watching.